In 2007, an idea was unveiled. A decade later, it is regarded as the leading event of its kind. Here's how it started.
Bournemouth already had an established relationship with the Red Arrows before the Bournemouth Air Festival. Going back to 1994, the responsibility for bringing the Red Arrows to Bournemouth rested with the Bournemouth Red Arrows Association, and they brought the team to do a display at Bournemouth every year through to 2007. It was extremely popular. It brought in large crowds of people, and it even featured in the annual calendar of events for Bournemouth. Fortuitously, Mark Smith was Director of Tourism here in Bournemouth. He'd previously been to Eastbourne, where he had set up the Eastbourne Airborne Air Show, which was highly successful. So the Red Arrows Association were delighted to support Mark and his team as they went about organising Bournemouth Air Festival 2008. And the rest, as they say, is history.
Well, this really was one of those rare occasions in your life when you can get the maddest dream come fantastically true, and that's what happened here in Bournemouth. That we've got, I suppose, the perfect stage for this sort of event, with the great bay in front of us and a big tourism business which really is hungry for this sort of massive world-class event. And so the idea of doing an event that's bigger than anybody had done anywhere in the world, not just an afternoon air show, but a 4-day air event, day and night, was something that a number of people, myself included, dreamed of having.
So a plan was developed.
Well, in 2008, I was chairman of the Bournemouth Tourism Management Board. No, we did not think it would take off, as a manner of speaking. It would take off so well. We had no idea that in no time at all we would have millions and millions of people coming here.
But without the backing of the council, an idea on this scale simply wouldn't take off.
Well, I think the ambition that Mark Smith brought to me was one that I shared with colleagues, and they could see this was something that they could make happen and could be the success it's turned out to be. And actually, that imagination has been the central platform that we've worked on all the way through. I'm immensely proud that we took that decision. It was a difficult decision. Had we left it a year, it wouldn't have happened because of the economic recession, but we took that decision. We made a success of it in year one, and look at us now, 10 years later.
The vision and intention to host a free 4-day air festival was unveiled to guests in 2007 to great reviews.
The Daily Echo has been hugely proud to support and cover the Bournemouth Air Festival for the past 10 years. It's a brilliant event that showcases the very best of Bournemouth. My favourite moment at the Air Festival was when my predecessor Neil Butterworth said he would run round Bournemouth naked if the Air Festival ever went ahead. It did, he didn't.
Hello, I'm Chris Harris from BBC Radio Solent. 10 years ago, the other BBC, Bournemouth Borough Council, called us up and said, we're thinking of running an air show. What do you think? We said, we'd love to be part of that. Well, just over a decade later, we still love the Bournemouth Air Festival.
We're really impressed with what we saw back in 2007 and really wanted to be part of it. Little did we know that 10 years later, the impact it would have on the town and the high point of everyone's summer.
On 28th August 2008 at 2 p.m, the iconic Battle of Britain memorial flight flew over the seafront, signalling the start of the very first Bournemouth Air Festival.
In 2008, my role was dealing with all of the trading on site, so bringing in a commercial income and managing all the logistical elements. My greatest challenge was starting from scratch, so nothing had been done before. We'd never done a festival of this scale.
Getting through the first year was an amazing success and achievement. The thing about Bournemouth, and we do shows all around the UK, is just the setting that you have here, standing up here on East Overcliff, looking out over the sea, and it's just a phenomenal setting to watch aircraft displaying.
Hi everyone, I'm in Bermuda working on the 35th America's Cup. I've exchanged flying aeroplanes for flying boats. I remember my first year, one of my key moments was watching the Eurofighter flying its first kind of practice run. Had a little bit of a tear in my eye, probably quite tired, a little bit emotional, and then turning to my left to see John Weaver also with a tear in his eye as well. So I think you guys will do a brilliant, fantastic job again, and hope to be there and see you there.
Sponsored by Moorbus and attended by 750,000 people, the first Bournemouth Air Festival was proclaimed a success. After an incredible inaugural year, the team stepped it up, and in 2009 the festival was back, bigger and better.
I've been fortunate enough to have worked on all the Air Festival launch events. They've always been a great challenge, very entertaining, but 2009 was certainly one of the more challenging years when we decided to take over a hangar at the airport. It was a great idea, and at the end of the day it was absolutely fantastic and really showcased what we could do for the Air Festival.
The festival proved what could be done again, and how incredibly quickly a roar on the shore could be made. In 2010, Jen and Michelle were invited to present at the European Airshow Council annual convention, and this cemented the Air Festival's reputation in the airshow world. No longer just a new kid on the block. It was also the year we welcomed the first international jet. And the first time it showed we had no control over the weather.
In 2011 was very demanding for us, for the resort, for the town and for the air display industry. But despite all that, we put a show together, and everyone who came down over that weekend thought we put on what we could and really appreciated what we did.
Amongst all the adverse challenges, 2011 saw the launch of the charity wristbands.
In 2011 we introduced the charity wristband. In conjunction with the Patrons Club, we've been able to raise tens of thousands of pounds for the military charities.
After 4 years of successful nighttime entertainment, Night Air was taken to another ambitious level, with the Wave 105 music stage and stunning dust displays.
Hi, my name's John Brooks, Commercial Director of Wave 105, and I just wanted to say how amazing it is that we've worked with the Air Festival now. And also the Night Air gigs that we put on as well is something that we're really proud to be associated with. And we've had some fantastic acts over the last few years.
Why have 2 nights of dust displays when you can have 3? With David Bailey at the helm, funding was secured with the help of a relaunched Patrons Club.
We now meet once a month for a networking event. We have helped raise thousands of pounds for military charities and funded 3 nights of dust displays. Hip hip!
Hey! 2014, the year we had 4 days of Red Arrow displays. We embraced art and culture with our first artist in residence, David Bent. Fabulous 94-year-old wing walker Tom Lackey kicked off the display programme. And the Canadian Lancaster didn't fly, but the Vulcan saved the day. The Air Festival was crowned Visit England Gold winner, the prize everyone had worked so hard to achieve. We welcomed the first Sea Lord and watched as we said a tearful farewell to the iconic and beautiful Avro Vulcan.
Bournemouth is the most amazing place to do a flying display. It's an amphitheatre. It's brilliant for the audience, and it was our favourite display location. There's no other place like it. And also in 2015, the Vulcan's last flying year. This here in Bournemouth was the Vulcan's last display on the south coast. I was here watching it, and it was an incredibly emotional occasion. So sad, but so many memories.
No one can forget last year. Winston Churchill said, "Attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference." And we were all Churchillian in every way. And because we all worked together, aircraft flew and the show went on.
A very warm welcome to you as we approach now the 10th year of this extraordinary Bournemouth Air Festival, a show that has gone from strength to strength, supported by the most dynamic and extremely professional team through the Bournemouth Tourism and Council offices. They really have grown this into one of the top UK events, and literally hundreds of thousands of people will flock here again later this year to enjoy the sights, the sounds, the beautiful location you can see behind me, and of course some of the most exciting aircraft that the UK has to offer. Every year the Bournemouth Air Festival team has added one or two little changes, and this year you can expect something extra special as well. Just taking Thursday alone, where there are 3 separate air display slots at 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock and again at 8 o'clock in the evening. We also have a new special, the Red Arrows. Yes, I know you've seen them many times before, but a special 6 o'clock evening show. The ever popular night air and music stages will feature yet again. A very vintage Sunday as well is planned, and we'd like you to enter in the spirit of this by coming dressed in historic costume to really get the flavour of the day. To celebrate this 10th festival, there will also be a very special souvenir programme for you to buy. On behalf of the entire Bournemouth Air Festival community, I'd like to offer a special word of thanks to Commodore Jamie Miller, who for the last 9 years has helped steer and grow this show to the level it is at, and is now one of the major events for the Royal Navy.
Bournemouth Air Festival is hugely important to me. It's the Royal Navy, it's the Royal Marines, the Royal Fleet Auxiliary, supporting and reserves, and most of the time over the seas and far away, deployed operationally and not seen or heard. Here at the Bournemouth Air Festival, natural amphitheatre for hundreds and thousands of people each year to see us close up and personal. And we go away knowing that people understand us. I suppose I'm a great believer in the 4 S's. First S is standards. Everything is done here to the highest standard. Secondly, service. Service in the way, the mutual respect between us all. Service both ways. Third S is style. Everything is done with a friendly air, and most importantly, a sense of humour and style, and that radiates out as a beacon of excellence for air festivals. Lastly, special. Everybody's made to feel special. The participants, able seamen, Royal Marines, people like myself, the council, the organisers, and above all, the hundreds of thousands of visitors that come our way to the Bournemouth Air Festival are made to feel special. Lastly, with a hint of regret in my voice, I'd say thank you so much to them all. Very well done, and I'll miss you.
So much has been achieved by the team over the last 9 years. Let's take a quick recap of their successes. £100,000 has been raised for military charities. 140 hours of air display time, 65 aircraft and display teams have featured in the Air Festival. More than 8.5 million people have been entertained. They have won an extraordinary 8 awards. An estimated £30 million per year has been generated through the tourism industry in the local community. A big thank you for attending here today, but also to all the Bournemouth tourism team and Borough Council and all the volunteers that have helped to make the Bournemouth Air Festival the success that it is. I look forward to seeing you in August.
Since 2008, the Air Festival has been brought to you by the following: